Hi guys, it's Reagan and welcome back to another reading vlog. It's actually Valentine's Day, hence the heart sweater I've decided to don for you guys. But it is Sunday and I have Monday off, which is why I decided to kind of do an unusual day pairing of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for a reading vlog. While per usual, I don't have any grand plans as it relates to life. I am so excited about this video's Matilda TBR because I'm actually reading the two books I picked out for the Blackathon. Oof, both the books sound so good. So I guess without further ado, let's dive into the TBR for this weekend. Here's Matilda being very sassy. So the two books I hope to read this vlog, I honestly feel like they both have the potential to kind of like blow my mind. The first one is The Lesson by Cadwell Turnbull. This is a sci-fi alien-based story about aliens coming to Earth and the complicated relationship between the aliens and humans. And then I also have The Parable of Sower by Octavia E. Butler, an incredibly famous, very lauded sci-fi dystopian end of the world story about a young girl and her like empathetic powers and possibly the rise of a new religion. I'm really looking forward to reading both of these. They're not very long, particularly The Lesson I think is under 300 pages. So I think I'm actually gonna start with this and then jump into this. I hope to maybe finish both, but at least finish this and get a good wave through this one. But this book I feel like has the potential to maybe be one of my favorite books of the year, just based on all the hype surrounding it. I'm really looking forward to it. And in general too, I'm looking forward to both these books because I'm trying to read more sci-fi dystopian based fiction this year, and they both fit the bill for that themselves in terms of a genre. So this is what I plan to read over the next couple of days. Again, it's Valentine's Day. Clay and I just plan to hang out. I'm gonna watch a K-drama right now, I think. It's Sunday morning, so I'm just gonna kind of relax, and maybe Clay and I will like watch a movie later. I'm not sure. I made a delicious Japanese curry last night. So good, not to like brag too much about my own cooking skills, but it was very tasty. So I think we're gonna have that left over for dinner tonight. Now I'm rambling. Anyway, welcome to the vlog. It's Sunday. Yes. But obviously gotta start the morning out right with a cup of coffee. Nothing is better than a weekend cup of coffee. Definitely trumps the work day cup of coffee, you know? Also, I am in the midst of like 4 different K-dramas right now, you know? Can't commit at the moment, but I'm really liking a lot of them. But the 2 main ones I'm watching are one, True Beauty, which I'm watching with Monica. So I'm watching it more slowly because I'm watching it with her, which has been so much fun. That one is like a very ridiculous coming of age romantic story centering around like makeup. It's super, super funny. Sorry, my camera died. Classic. What I was saying was I'm watching True Beauty with Monica and it's really fun and cute, but because we're watching it together, I started another show just to kind of keep me entertained solo. And I started the show Touch Your Heart, which a lot of you guys recommended to me because the 2 main actors are Grim Reaper and Sunny from Goblin. I went in with like medium expectations, but I'm loving this drama. I think it's one of my favorite slice of life dramas I've watched so far. The premise seems basic. It basically follows the girl. She was a really popular actress, but due to a scandal, she kind of fell out of the limelight, and 2 years later, she's basically trying to reboot her career, but she's not known to be the best actress. So the director is basically like, you have to kind of do like a method acting situation and like work the job to be able to like get the drama role. So she does. So she becomes the secretary at this like powerful law firm. There she meets the male lead, and you think it's gonna be like this like classic cold guy, sunny girl, and it kind of is in the beginning, but it's honestly the sweetest, most pure rom-com. It's really like instead of him being arrogant and mean, which you would kind of expect in this sort of drama, at least in the beginning, he's really just like shy and introverted, and the main character, the girl, is so charming and cute, and their relationship builds so naturally, and they communicate, and they're like open and transparent with one another. Like there's no prolonged drama of miscommunication conflict. Like they're so bashful and it's so wholesome, and I love it. I've only seen 9 episodes, so there's more drama to come, but oh my god, I just love them. They're so sweet and I'm just happy for them. And Anyway, so it's a great drama. Would highly recommend it if you want to have a smile on your face. And there's like some law drama associated with it too, which makes it entertaining like outside of the romance, but it's so cute. So I'm gonna finish up the episode I'm currently watching now, but then I'm gonna start the lesson. I'm gonna start with this book because it's shorter and I do think I can kind of fly through it. I'm looking forward to this. I've heard really good things. I'm hoping this is kind of like a mind-bending sci-fi story. So I'm going to read, well, I'm gonna watch my K-drama and then I'm gonna read this. Received my Valentine's Day surprise that I may have directly requested, but Levain cookies are my favorite. And they're delish. There's nothing better. I also got some fleurs. Big shout out. Thanks, Clay. You're the bomb. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, is that a scone? Mm-hmm. Nice. Anyway, I'm gonna chat out on this and probably watch some TV. I am about to sit down and do a bit of a reading sprint, but I'm gonna heat up one of the cookies Clay got me for Valentine's Day. These are my heaven on earth is with you cookie. One day I'm gonna try to like dupe this cookie, but for now, living with the real thing. That cookie goodness, plus I've already read 20 pages of the lesson and it's definitely captured my attention very, very quickly. I'm gonna read more before I do like an official reading update, but I'm gonna keep reading this and enjoy my cookie. Update, I have read 50 pages of the lesson so far and I'm actually really, really liking it. I was anticipating to like it, but I'm liking it for a bunch of reasons that I wasn't expecting to. Obviously, I knew this was about an alien invasion over the US Virgin Islands, but structurally how this book has started out, it's giving the impression, at least where I'm at, that it's going to be a very character focused story about our kind of primary perspectives, and the aliens might just sort of be an ancillary force kind of in the background. In fact, the story opens on pre-invasion by Viana, and you're kind of just jumping from all these different vignettes kind of as a countdown to when the invasion actually arrives. The countdown itself creates quite a bit of urgency, but the different vignettes too, you kind of quickly fall into these characters' lives and they're all connected, related, or close to each other, either by familial blood or just they grew up together. And through these perspectives, you quickly begin to see glimpses of not only their life, but their secrets, their desires, their wants, their needs. And at the moment, pre-invasion, they all feel like they're on a precipice of a big decision that will change the course of their life. For good or bad. But then also the invasion happens, which is this very large, unexpected curveball for everyone, which will kind of change the course of their lives even further, as well as this sort of alien invasion, which is a global, multi-nation problem, really contrasts the really intimate, very personal human problems each of these characters are kind of working through at the beginning of this book. Again, I've only read 50 pages and there is a bit of a time skip to current present day after about 5 years of the Yana having come to the world. And essentially like the reason why they're there is still very much a mystery, and all these characters I imagine are still gonna be intertwined because we follow like a husband and wife and then the daughter and then a close family friend, at least so far. So I imagine we're still gonna kind of see how they're woven together, but all of their lives were deeply impacted by the arrival of the aliens, and I think it's going to continue to expand now that they're here. But I love how character focused this is, and also just the structure of how it's told, these like short scenes and we're kind of jumping around. It just gives you this really intense and intimate view. I just in general love stories with this sort of narrative structure, cast of characters where you're kind of getting these disparate scenes of their life, which gives you a kind of a glimpse into their overall experience. Like I just really like that. And there's a level of urgency, this feeling of searching and like wanting more from life, but also like secrets and also things people are like trying to hide from others close to them and themselves. But anyway, 50 pages in, this has definitely left quite a big impact. I'm really curious to see how the alien component continues to ramp up. I imagine it will definitely become more central to the plot, but the first 50 pages was very much setting us in just being in the US Virgin Islands with these characters. But I'm really looking forward to reading more of this. It reads really quickly because of kind of the short chapters and also just jumping between all of the characters. But I'm liking it. I'm really liking it quite a bit. I like that it's sort of like with a dash of sci-fi, you know? But anyway, okay. I am going to read more, but I just wanted to give you an update. All right, officially read to page 75. I'm really liking this. I don't know what, again, I'm just loving how character focused it is, and it kind of has like a mystery element too. I don't know, okay. Not being very coherent, but I'm going to take a break from reading and watch an episode of True Beauty with Monica. I'm also heating up some rice. Clay and I decided to actually eat the curry that I made last night for lunch, and then we're gonna order pizza for dinner. But yeah, I'm excited to watch some of this. Curry is heated up in my drama. Monica and I just watched episode 10 of True Beauty. My heart. Hopefully we'll watch a little bit later because I need to know what happens next. But for now, it's getting late at night. I don't know where the day went. But Clay and I are gonna hang out for a little while and order pizza, I think, in a couple hours. We had a late lunch, as I showed, so neither of us are super hungry, but I might do a bit more reading. But I've already read 75 pages of the lesson, which I'm really jazzed about. And I anticipate I'll probably do most of my reading tomorrow. So if I can just read about like 150 pages tonight, I'll be really jazzed about that. But just wanted to say, True Beauty, getting my heart rate up. We got pizza and cheese underneath 2 layers of blankets. Shout out to Clay for just voluntarily watching the tail end of a K-drama with me, and inadvertently Monica, because we're watching together. Monica and I have wrapped up our K-drama session for tonight. We're tracking to definitely finish it tomorrow, but I am now gonna sit down and read more of the lesson. I again got to 75 pages, so I'm definitely gonna track to get over the 100 page mark of this tonight and then wrap it up tomorrow. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. It's definitely really engaged me from the beginning, as I've already said, so I'm curious to see how it continues to progress, and as the alien component I feel like becomes more central to the plot and story. But I'm gonna read now. Good morning, everyone. I've actually been up for a little bit. I have been reading. I've gotten to page 130 of the lesson. I'm really liking it. I'm gonna read some more and then I'll do another reading update, but this book has been entirely unexpected in terms of like what I was anticipating, but it's really good. Hi everyone, I'm sitting here. I also just wanted to quickly show off my Karasuno volleyball sweatshirt. Big fan. I'm about to get up and get dressed, but I've actually spent the morning reading, which has been really nice. I've read another about 100 pages of this. I'm on page 175, about 100 pages left, and I'm really liking this. This continues to be very much like a human character focused story. It obviously has that first touch alien comes to her Earth element, but it's very much still character led. Again, so initially the book opens on before the Yana's arrival, but we quickly shift 5 years into the future since they've come, and we are continuing to kind of shift through all these different perspectives of the family members and the connected individuals we encountered before the Yana. But now we actually have a perspective of one of the Yana themselves, who's actually been on Earth for hundreds of years. There's a very complicated relationship between the residents of the US Virgin Islands and the Yana themselves. They are similar to humans, but are very different in key ways. They are also very violent, and like basically if you do anything that might be insulting to them, they will respond in an extremely violent manner. Due to this, there have been a variety of incidents have continually like created a divide and just a distrust and hatred, particularly from humans towards the Yana. The aliens themselves, I feel like within this book, are kind of being used a bit as mirrors, because in some ways they could be very similar to humans, particularly with the Yana point of view that we have within this story. But it also, this story I feel like is definitely using these aliens as a parallel of colonization and slavery, as well as all the different perspectives and the response to the Yana, as well as different responses to colonization. We have many characters that want nothing to do with them. We have many characters that have extreme hatred towards them. We have some characters that love them and want to be with them. It's really complicated, but this story is, again, very much like, yes, there's a sci-fi and an alien element, but it's more used as a device to kind of explore all these different characters and perspectives of people living together as a community, as a response to these aliens that have come to Earth. And I really appreciate that the author kind of provided that 30 pages or so of pre-arrival, because really like their human desires haven't pivoted dramatically in terms of like everyone is still trying to live their lives, but their lives have all, inevitably, every single person have changed course since the Yana have arrived. So I appreciate how that's kind of being explored, and it just has such a human quality to it, and I love the shifting of perspectives. Narratively, I really like how this is written and set up. And again, I'm kind of a sucker for stories that kind of have this weaving narrative quality, jumping from all these points of views, and just like having a deep dive or just like microscopic look on different people in their lives and kind of what they want, or what's hurting them. Like, it's just a type of story that I personally always really, really like. And I feel like this, having that alien sci-fi element to this, makes it, one, really interesting, and I just appreciate this book quite a bit. And it's making me want to read more first touch novels, because I do know that this sort of alien device is used in a lot of different ways to kind of explore humanity, and I just like it as a genre choice, but I also just really like it within this book itself. So I'm definitely gonna finish this today and start my second book tonight. I'm obviously vlogging through tomorrow, so I'm hoping to get quite a few pages in, but I really like this, and I'm reading it really quickly, I think too, because we're shifting from all these different perspectives. I also like how everyone's kind of connected and time is passing. I don't know. I'm liking it a lot. I'm rambling a lot too. But anyway, I'm gonna get changed now. Hello, it's me. I got dressed, sorta, wearing jeans, so I'm counting that as a victory. I'm about to make breakfast, lunch. I got a little bit distracted. I did read a bit more. I'm past the 200 page mark of my book. Still so good. And I edited a video. Ayo! But now I'm gonna make some food. I'm actually really excited. So let's go over the food. So here's what I'm making on this gloomy day. Souffle pancakes. I have never made these before. I've never tried them before. I don't know, I'm excited to see how they turn out, how fluffy they may be. I think I'm gonna add chocolate chips to them too, but I picked this up just from like our local grocery store, and I'm excited to see how it turns out. All right, so it's instant mix, so it took all of 5 seconds to put together. It's just egg and milk, and then you kind of whisk it. I'm letting it sit. I watched a YouTube video, and the person recommended to let it sit for 5 minutes before you cook, and not mix it a lot. I'm like wanting to do like experiments. Like, I feel like a souffle needs a lot of air, but they said not to whisk it a lot. So I'm curious, like maybe I'll try to do more whisking for the other version. I don't know. I don't want to mess it up. Obviously this is instant mix, so it's not like I made like an egg white concoction and then like folded in other ingredients. I'm really reading into this souffle pancake thing a lot. So also I'm gonna put chocolate chips in mine. Clay's will be plain. But we'll see how this goes. I won't lie, everyone. While this definitely appears to be a fluffy it's like an American style fluffy pancake, so I'm doing something wrong. I'm gonna change my technique for the next round. I mean, it doesn't look fluffy. General consensus of the first round is I produced averagely fluffy pancakes. Delicious, golden brown, gonna be very good, but I'm gonna change my technique for the second batch. I'm gonna aerate, give a strong whisk to the yolk and milk, mix in the batter to see if maybe that'll get them a little taller. But I'm gonna go give these to Clay now. I forgot to put chocolate chips because I was too focused, but I definitely think I'm getting more height this time around. So that is exciting. Huzzah. A little close-up shot here. I definitely think aerating the pancake, like the egg and the milk before mixing in the mix, definitely helped. They're above average fluffy. They're definitely not like the pictures I see on the internet where they're like this thick, but I'm looking forward to this. I have chocolate chips in these. I'm gonna add some whipped cream and some syrup. Go watch Community with Clay over there. Yeah. It's me. I've been reading, and I finished The Lesson by Cadwell Turner. Enjoyed this quite a bit. The ending, wow. The pacing of this book continued to escalate. I don't really want to say more than what I've already had, and I really appreciate kind of the approach and the overall themes to this story. I think my only criticism is it's not very long. It's like 265 pages. I wish the end was fleshed out maybe a bit more, and we kind of got some more time with the characters just to kind of root us even deeper into their lives and their story. I did feel connected to many of them, but there were a few I think I would have liked having maybe a chapter more for each one, just to kind of feel even more just in tune with their life and their decisions and their connections inevitably with each other. But ultimately, I really appreciated this. It was a weaving narrative tale, wonderful writing. I loved how all the characters' lives kind of orbited around each other in really interesting ways, and the chapters themselves were really seamless. It was almost like characters had their own reveals, and it was always very satisfying when it occurred. And in general, I really liked this and would definitely recommend it. Read it really quickly. It's under 300 pages, so it's definitely a quick read. But I've also officially finished my first book, both for this vlog and for the readathon, which is great, and I'm definitely going to start my second book tonight, The Parable of Sower. But I think I might take a nap. Actually, I'm gonna eat those hot Cheetos and put on a K-drama. They're calling my name. All right, Clay and I are doing the only thing you do usually on random Mondays that you have off from work, and that is starting a mini docu-series. So, you know, maybe we'll watch this whole thing today. But we're watching The Jinx, Life and Deaths of Robert Durst. So we'll let you know how we think about it. Question is, how spicy do we think this is going to be? And will I be able to handle it? Or will I be able to handle it but still get heartburn? When you get old, apparently you just get heartburn when you eat spicy things. Or at least that's happened to me. Anyways, that's TMI, but my instant ramen, or noodle game, I should say, not ramen. My instant noodle game has been on point since it's been so cold. I've been trying out all sorts of brands, so I'm trying this tonight. Fogged up the lens, but look at that. I'm looking forward to this. It doesn't smell like it's gonna be too spicy. I think it's just gonna be spicy, which, amazing. Matilda is a hot dog. So Clay and I have watched 4 consecutive episodes of The Jinx, which is on HBO. It's like a true crime? Yeah?
Yeah, true crime.
Docu-series about Robert Durst, who I didn't know anything about until this. Clay knew more.
Yeah, definitely have learned a lot from this, but like was somewhat familiar with this documentary and what occurred. Anyway,
It's wild. We haven't finished, but we definitely really interesting, and like the quality of it is really good. I don't know. There's good and bad docu-series out there, and I definitely think this one does a good job.
Yeah.
With its pacing and timing and everything, like how it kind of shuffles things around. It's really interesting,
and yeah, it's not told in a
linear way.
It's told, you know, bits and pieces are given to you over time, which is interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how it ends because I didn't really know anything about this person. Anyway, we're gonna watch more. All right, 5 hours of true crime television later. I'm about to go get settled into bed and start my second book of this reading vlog, which is Parable of Sower, which I'm really looking forward to. I've read 265 pages, obviously, because I finished the lesson. Really liked that book. So I'm actually hoping to read about 200 pages between tonight and then obviously tomorrow, which I think I'll be able to. I feel like this book is gonna read really quickly, just given how intense I've heard this is. I don't know, every person I've seen read this on BookTube, it just shoots the top of their like must read lists for everyone else. So I just have a feeling that this is going to be one that I'm going to really love. So I'm definitely gonna start this tonight and then read probably the majority of it tomorrow. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted as I get started and start to read more pages. But so far, I feel like both of these sci-fi books, obviously I haven't started this yet, but I just have a feeling are gonna be, I don't know, just like really intense, mind-blowing stories. So I'm really excited about this video's TBR, and it's definitely panning out. Also, this has a John Green quote on the front cover. That seems like a weird choice. The other one is N.K. Jemisin, which makes more sense, but John Green, huh. Hi, it's actually the afternoon. Here's my outfit. It's been a chaotic morning, but it's fine. Matilda, Clay's on a call, but Matilda's here too. All day meetings mean you get poke and eat it while you're supposed to be on a meeting. Hi friends, it's been a bit of a day. All my vlog clips I feel like I've checked in today have all felt, I feel like, have been pretty chaotic. Lots of meetings. That being said, I did want to take a second, one, to relax, but two, to let you know of the pages that I'm able to read of The Parable of Sower, which I read last night. So I was able to read to about page 50, and I also read the foreword, which was written by N.K. Jemisin. And I can already really tell I'm gonna like this. I've read 50 pages, but like, man, the opening, the exposition of this novel is intense. The structure of how it's written, I'm just obsessed with. There's so much to say, but if you're not familiar, The Parable of Sower is basically set in California after an economic and climate crisis in the early 2020s. It's almost frighteningly close to the time period we're in, and also just like given the reality of the climate crisis we're currently living in, like this is a far off future, but you can't help but to read it and just feel like this could be our future. But anyway, we follow our main character Lauren, who lives in California, like outside of LA, and since this crisis, like America at least, has definitely fallen apart. There's very little work. Things like necessities to live, like water, cost a lot of money, and society has kind of crumbled, and people who are able to now live in like small walled communities, which is where our main character Lauren lives with her family and other families. And her father is actually a preacher. And obviously I'm just very much at the beginning of this novel, so in the first 50 pages I'm really just encountering the world, like this reality that all of these characters live in, the rules, and kind of the outcome of this crisis. We're reading from our main character Lauren, and structurally how this book is actually written, it feels very much like diary entries. She's kind of just writing about certain scenes of that day, and dating them even. So immediately we get very connected to Lauren, but also the story is completely from her point of view and her feelings. With her entries, we get a viewpoint not only in the world, but a lot of what Lauren is kind of thinking and talking about within these entries too is like the concept of God and religion and the world, and like what it means to believe. And she's kind of dissecting all these different philosophies, both like what she learns from her father, but other religions as well, and is kind of like prophesizing and kind of constructing her own religion based on the outcome of like the new world reality. And another thing too, our main character has something called hyper empathy, so she can feel other people's emotions and pain around her, and she has to hide this because in this new reality, like any type of weakness can really immediately get you outcasted, and survival is key and central to everyone's life. So far, I'm just completely riveted by this story. The writing, obviously, we're so rooted in our main character's point of view. The setting is horrifying in its like feasibility, you know what I mean? Like this doesn't seem like that too many degrees off from a reality that we could in theory fall into. And then sort of this immediate emotional connection to our main character and the structure of this book being kind of like a diary. And at the beginning of each chapter, there's kind of like a quote that feels pulled from a like religious text that I think our main character has written at some point later in the story. So I don't know, there's a lot going on. It's so good. And this is one I feel like I'm going to love. I already could just tell. But maybe a book that I'm gonna want to reread multiple times because I feel like there's a lot to unpack. And even in the foreword, like that's something N.K. Jemisin kind of mentioned. She's like, I've read this book 3 times, and each time I've kind of begun to dissect another layer of this tale. So anyway, this is a very long rambling clip, but I just want to say I've started this book. I'm really liking it. There's a lot to say. Looking forward to continually read this and share my thoughts. I'm hoping to get to page like 160 tonight, read like about 100 pages obviously, and then I'll finish it this month. But just wanted to give you kind of my point of view, starting thoughts and feelings about this book. I finished up work for the day and I've put pajamas on, and I've actually read page 75 of Parable of Sower, so that's great. This book is so good. It's almost, whoa, that was a larger drop, but it's kind of actually also terrifying because it just feels so real. Like everything about this book just feels like 1 degree away, you know? And then obviously like this world is still riddled with all the societal problems that we currently have, but it's just the reality of if you continue to leave all these problems that we have as a society unchecked, like look at your future, you know? So it's like, it gets your heart racing in that way. But 75 pages in, it's so good. It's kind of evolving too, and Lauren kind of confronting the reality and kind of realizing that the adults are still kind of holding on to the past and this idea that things will return to normal, versus she thinks like, this is our reality now, like we're not going to go back, but we can continue to change. We have to confront our reality and like prepare for that future. So I think she's trying to like mobilize her community to be more prepared for inevitably, like in the short term, like a more violent reality. In other news though, I am gonna make dinner now, and it's not gonna be ramen. I'm not gonna eat instant noodles. I think I'm gonna make some enchiladas. Yeah, some black bean enchiladas. That will be tasty. Who doesn't like enchiladas? So I'm gonna make that, and I'm gonna watch probably some K-drama tonight. I need to text Monica and see if she's free to watch an episode of True Beauty, because we only have 3 episodes of True Beauty left, but we'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna start dinner now. Definitely read more tonight, because Parable of Sower, so good, so good. But also watch some K-dramas and just hang out. Finished my chopping, but just wanted to share. Taking a break from K-dramas actually to catch up on the challenge. My first reality TV love. The season's pretty good so far. I'm behind, but I like a lot of the new additions. I love all the Survivor crossovers. Nam is great. Anyway, back to chopping. Cooking the veg. I'm about to add the beans once this cooks down a bit more, and I'm also gonna mash some beans. I love enchiladas because they take no time. Nice little vegetarian option, and they're delicious. Bon appetit. I feel like it's very fair to judge the fact that I still have a Christmas cookie jar out and about. This is Matilda's little face creams, but I don't know why I felt the need to tell you that, but yeah, gotta keep those folds clean. But I can't get rid of it because it's full of candy still. We updated it with Valentine's Day Hershey Kisses. It holds so much. We just decided to keep the holiday candy vibe going. So it's Christmas 24/7. That's how I feel. All right, I have Matilda, a handful of Hershey Kisses, and my book. And I'm gonna sit down and do more reading. Again, I've already read 75 pages. So I'm just gonna see how far I can get. And then I'm probably gonna watch more of the challenge, but we'll see. But I really wanna read more of this and then decompress with some reality TV. This book is really good. I feel like I'm going to not be saying anything eloquent or new as relates to this book, The Parable of Sower, because it's so famous and it's been lauded for so many reasons. But all of that being said, I'm really liking this book. It's not an easy read. Like, I read a review and someone described the experience as almost like claustrophobic, because it just doesn't feel like, this was written in the 90s, and it feels like this could so easily happen. I mean, I already mentioned this is coming off of a global and economic crisis. You know, the gaps in wealth disparity are continuing to expand. There are no jobs, and people are so desperate by becoming servants to wealthy individuals. Like, the new leader is removing all like labor laws, and basically like corporations are continuing to expand and take advantage of people. And all of this, we're basically reading Lauren's diary as she's sort of recounting moments of her life with her family and her community in which she lives in, and like all these things are happening around them, but like also their life is still happening too. Like, her own musings and ideas of what should be the philosophy that they live on is something she's constantly focusing on. And then obviously the things that are happening to her family as it relates to her community. And there's just this growing sense of dread of being like, they're like barely holding the dam together, and something is going to happen, and they're going to need to pick up the pieces and figure out what the next steps are together as a community, as a country, because this isn't sustainable. It's so good. And I mean, I'm reading a quote on the back, like, in the ongoing contest over which dystopian classic is the most applicable to our time, Octavia Butler's Parable books may be unmatched, because it just like the right, everything about it is so good. And I feel very like what I'm saying doesn't feel sufficient to describe what this reading experience is like, but it's just really good. And I really love how religion is kind of woven into this constant look, this search for meaning and fulfillment in answering the question of why. And obviously, because our main character's father is a preacher, there's, you know, references to Christianity and other religions, but this sort of building of a new faith that fits humanity where it's at now and its current fight and current struggle is just really interesting too. And just like this fight for survival and hope is all wrapped up in there too. And the structure is so good. I'm rambling, but wow, 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 wow. I definitely will be able to read 150 pages. I don't have much to go. I might read a bit more. Hi, so my camera died in the midst of the Parable of the Sower chat. So while it was charging, Clay and I watched the last episode of The Jinx, The Life and Deaths of Robert Durst, and oh my gosh, unrelated, this was wild. I didn't know anything about this going in. Knocked my socks off. If you like docuseries, would definitely recommend this. Now I'm going to stay up significantly past my bedtime and read more of this. I feel like it might give me some intense dreams, but it's all gonna be worth it. I'm really loving this book. Honestly, both the books I read for this vlog are probably like top books of the month so far that I've encountered. And I would say both of them have really created a lot of dialogue in my brain, have just made me really think critically and deeply about a variety of topics, and the use of kind of dystopian and sci-fi in both of these novels have just, it's been used so successfully, and the authors have both just, they're just very good. This is why I'm not an author, because I'm not very good at speaking, but I'm a little speechless right now. But just both of the books, I don't know, just like why I love reading. But anyway, I'm going to do more of that now and read more of this particular book, which obviously I keep talking about how much I'm liking so much. Hopefully some of this was articulate, because I'm fearful it's not. But anyway, I'm just really pleased with both the books I read this weekend. Or this vlog, I should say, because it's Tuesday. Because wow, just literature, man, you know? Hi friends, it's Reagan, and I'm just wrapping up the end of this vlog the next day. Can confirm I stayed up too late last night reading, and I did have weird dreams, but I do want to quickly just final thoughts and feelings on the two books I featured and read in this vlog. So good news, I was able to get to page 154 of Parable of the Sower. So I'm about halfway through this book, and I definitely feel like I'm gonna finish this either tonight or tomorrow. I don't have much left. I've been rambling on and ineloquently about this book this entire vlog. So good. It's intense, it's dark, it's terrifying, and it's likely reality. It has so much commentary on like our current societal issues, and if we continue to let them fester, this is not far off. As well as you have a central main character that we are with, and watching her confront all these issues with her family, and also reckoning with a new idea and philosophy. It's excellent, and I'm really looking forward to finishing this, guy, as I said, in the next couple of days. Obviously, I also read the entirety of The Lesson, which is a first touch sci-fi aliens come to Earth novel, which I really loved how character focused this was. But all in all, I read about 430-ish pages, so I'm really pleased with that. Both these books were excellent sci-fi novels. I'm really glad I picked them up, and they're both definitely inspiring me to continue to explore this genre, because these were amazing. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another one soon.